Welcome. This is a video of a table saw sled that I built. So I didn't start filming this right at the beginning, but as it turns out, there were some mistakes that were made. So you'll be able to see the whole process from beginning to end. So here I'm just gluing up the boards, the back and front boards that go on the sled. Just using some scrap MDF that I had laying around. So mistake here, but it was that I should have clamped that down to like a level or something that's very flat. Those boards need to be flat, but I got lucky with all those clamps. So I played around a little bit with the template, just kind of eyeballed it more or less. So I rough cut it out on the jigsaw, left a little bit of the line there. So I'm going to clean it up here with the oscillating sander. Use it more of a shaper than anything else. It's just a shop tool, so I'm not looking for really smooth lines, etc. Honestly, some of the bumps and stuff on it and imperfections make it a little bit more grippy, if that makes sense. So I got to use my new table saw, or excuse me, router table. This is Norm Abrams build. It's, I think, my first real project I used on it, so it was a real pleasure to use it. So here is where I figure out what went wrong. The baseboard that I used was some scrap particle board, but it had warped, and I didn't notice it like for basically a full day. So I was looking around the shop looking for extra pieces, no dice. So I had to go to Lowe's the next day. This is a brand new piece of MDF. So cutting it down to size, redoing the hardwood slabs that go in the miter slots there. So here I am just gluing those runners, the hardwood runners, to the baseboard right there. So, not a difficult thing, but definitely annoying to do a second time. But hey, c'est la vie. So we're back on track here for the most part, and we're going to, but the problem is that there was just a little too tight. One of the runners actually cracked, right, over tightened a screw, so it expanded a little bit. So I had to take the chisel out.
Yeah, baby.
Now here I am, just assembling the front fence and the back fence. The front fence isn't really that important. The material rests on the back, so the back is what needs to be square. So the front I just kind of put on there. And here I am with the first cut. Oh yeah. So this was a little stressful. I don't know. A lot of work goes into it. You just want to make sure it goes right. So here I'm using a little shim. I put it in the slot so I can actually have like a rest for my square there to square up the fence as best as I can. And the first cut you'll see here, a little disastrous. So I don't know if you can see that, but the fence is, the board is actually moving. Each side is like independent. And it's because there just wasn't enough support on the front fence. I only had two screws that were holding it together. So I had to do some fixes off camera on this and like screw down the front and really get this to work out. But in the end, it wasn't a big deal. So, but there was some fine tuning. So right there, I'm using like 5 or 6 different pieces of paper there to shim it up. I actually used, you can see the caliper there. There's this 5-cut method, and I'll link that in the description. And I talk a little bit about that here in a little bit. Past me will speak to it. But yeah, so it's kind of like an iterative process, going back and forth until you get it right. So here it's all good. So I'm screwing in the backboard. That felt really good. Okay, and then I decided to actually put some linseed oil on it just to protect it a little bit. Um, Boy, the MDF really sucks it up too, so you have to apply a lot. And at first I wasn't doing very much, I really wasn't sure, but by the time I got to the bottom side, I, just kind of dissented. You can see there, I'm just slathering it on, and that's definitely the way to go. So I did have to get a clean rag and clean up some of the excess, but yeah, no big deal. And it looked good in the end. Well, here it is, the table saw sled. This was a fun project. So, pretty excited to actually use it for a couple projects that are coming up. I will link the video where I got the design for this sled, and he also talks about this, something called the 5-cut method, to figure out exactly how square your sled is and how to make some micro adjustments. So, pretty cool process. I won't bore you with it here. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and ring the bell. See you next time.